In 69 BCE, Cleopatra VII Philippa was born in the bustling, culturally rich city of Alexandria, Egypt, amidst the grandeur of the Ptolemaic dynasty's palaces. As the daughter of King Ptolemy XII, her childhood was steeped in political intrigue and a blend of Hellenistic and Egyptian cultures, setting the stage for her to become a ruler influenced by both traditions. Educated by scholars in Alexandria, Cleopatra mastered several languages and studied a variety of subjects, ranging from philosophy to astronomy, preparing her for the complex duties of rule. Unlike the common portrayal of Cleopatra as merely a seductive figure, she was in fact highly educated and tactically astute, equipped to lead in a time of political turbulence. Her father, Ptolemy XII, navigated a treacherous path among his own family, where loyalties were as shifting as the sands of the Egyptian desert. His rule was constantly undermined by palace intrigues and rivalries, particularly with his ambitious relatives, who eyed the throne eagerly. This familial discord set a backdrop of instability, shaping the political climate Cleopatra would later inherit. Beyond the borders of Egypt, the expanding power of Rome cast a long shadow. Rome's influence in Egyptian affairs grew significantly during Ptolemy XII's reign, as he sought to secure his throne through political alliances with powerful Roman figures. These maneuvers, however, meant Egypt slowly became a client state, with its wealth and strategic location making it a jewel in the eyes of Roman politicians. Facing these myriad pressures, Ptolemy XII made a critical decision that would impact the future of Egypt. In his will, he declared that Cleopatra and her younger brother Ptolemy XIII should rule together as joint heirs. This co-regency, beginning in 51 BCE when Cleopatra was just 18 years old, was meant to stabilize the throne, but instead set the stage for future conflicts. Cleopatra's intelligence and determination met with her brother's ambitions and the manipulations of his advisors, creating a volatile mix that would soon lead to outright civil conflict. As the co-regency began, Cleopatra stepped into her role with both ambition and vision, ready to guide Egypt into a new era. However, the seeds of discord planted during her father's reign soon sprouted, testing her resolve and cunning. Determined to be more than just a figurehead, Cleopatra quickly moved to assert her independence. She displayed a keen understanding of governance and diplomacy, overshadowing her younger brother Ptolemy XIII. Her attempt to rule alone was bold, but it rattled the power structures established by their father's will, leading to growing tensions within the royal court. The palace was rife with intrigue, as Ptolemy XIII and his advisors bristled at Cleopatra's assertiveness. The young pharaoh, influenced heavily by his council, particularly the eunuch Pothinus, saw Cleopatra's actions as a direct threat to his own authority. The advisors, wary of Cleopatra's popular appeal and her capability, began plotting to undermine her, fearing her dominance could marginalize their influence. The sibling rivalry escalated as Cleopatra and Ptolemy XIII camps clashed openly, each side attempting to consolidate support among Egypt's powerful elite and the military. This power struggle reached its peak when Cleopatra was forced to flee Egypt amidst growing hostility. The move to exile marked a turning point, igniting Cleopatra's resolve to return and take full control. In 48 BCE, amidst the backdrop of a crumbling alliance with her brother and a kingdom on the brink of civil war, Cleopatra made a daring move that would redefine her reign. Seeking to regain her throne, she sought the support of one of Rome's most formidable leaders, Julius Caesar, who had arrived in Alexandria amidst his own pursuits of rival Pompey. In a tale that blurs the lines between legend and history, Cleopatra, determined to meet Caesar personally, is said to have been smuggled into the royal palace rolled inside a carpet. This audacious introduction marked the beginning of one of history's most intriguing political alliances. Cleopatra's intelligence, charisma, and political savvy impressed Caesar, leading to a partnership that extended beyond mere politics. Their alliance was both strategic and personal. Cleopatra's charm and intelligence won Caesar's support, and together they planned her return to power. This partnership was crucial, as Caesar brought not only military support, but also the political influence necessary to reinstate Cleopatra. The conflict escalated when Caesar's presence in Alexandria sparked a siege initiated by Ptolemy XIII's forces, angered by Caesar's direct interference in Egyptian affairs. The city became a battleground, as Caesar's legions and naval forces clashed with those loyal to Ptolemy XIII. The siege was intense and complex, involving street battles and naval engagements in the great harbor of Alexandria. The war reached its climax when Ptolemy XIII, attempting to flee the scene, drowned in the Nile. His death marked a decisive turn in the conflict. With her main rival gone, and with the backing of Caesar's troops, Cleopatra was able to assert her authority and reclaim her throne. The dynamics of Egyptian politics were forever altered. In accordance with Egyptian tradition and political necessity, Cleopatra was installed as the ruling queen, alongside her younger brother Ptolemy XIV. This arrangement was partly to appease certain factions within Egypt and to maintain the facade of a traditional pharaonic co-regency, even under the shadow of Roman influence. In 47 BCE, Cleopatra gave birth to a son, Ptolemy Caesar, popularly known as Cesarian, which means Little Caesar. This birth was not just a personal joy to Cleopatra, but a pivotal moment in her reign. Cleopatra declared that Cesarian was the son of Julius Caesar, thereby asserting a direct link between her dynasty and the Roman leadership. The assertion that Cesarian was Caesar's son was fraught with both opportunities and risks. If accepted, this claim would legitimize Cleopatra's son as a potential heir to both the Egyptian throne and, possibly, Roman influence. It firmly associated Cleopatra's lineage with the Roman power structure, symbolically uniting Egyptian and Roman interests. The claim was controversial, because Julius Caesar never officially acknowledged Cesarian as his son, despite accepting Cleopatra's proclamation in public. This ambiguity led to speculation and debate both in Rome and among historians. Some viewed it as a bold strategic move by Cleopatra to secure her son's position and her dynasty's future, while others saw it as a genuine declaration of paternity. The birth of Cesarian complicated Roman politics, especially after Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE. Cleopatra's claim positioned Cesarian as a potential rival to Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, later Augustus, which intensified the political drama unfolding in Rome. In Egypt, Cesarian was seen as a symbol of Cleopatra's power and her alignment with divine and royal prestige. Following Julius Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE, Cleopatra found herself navigating a treacherous landscape. Rome was plunged into chaos, and Egypt, under her rule, faced its own set of challenges. Cleopatra returned to Alexandria, where she focused on strengthening her political position and securing her son Cesarian's future. Cleopatra's rule during this period was marked by significant administrative reforms aimed at revitalizing Egypt's economy and asserting her image as a pharaoh not only of Egypt, but also as a goddess, which was a strategic move to solidify her authority among her subjects. Her cultivation of a goddess-like persona, merging Egyptian and Hellenistic traditions, showcased her adept understanding of cultural and political symbolism. The death of Caesar threw Rome into a new round of power struggles, with figures like Mark Antony and Octavian rising to prominence. Cleopatra keenly watched these developments, preparing to secure alliances that would protect Egypt's interests. In 41 BCE, her political acumen was once again put to the test as Mark Antony, now a co-ruler of Rome, summoned her to Tarsus. This meeting was not just a summons, but a pivotal moment for Cleopatra. She approached it with the full force of her political strategy, presenting herself not just as the Queen of Egypt, but as the living embodiment of the goddess Isis. Her entrance into Tarsus, aboard a golden barge with purple sails, is one of the most legendary displays of royal pageantry in history. This dramatic approach was calculated to impress Antony and to secure his alliance, mirroring her earlier successful encounter with Caesar. Their meeting set the stage for a partnership that would once again intertwine Egypt's fate with that of Rome's leaders, leading to the famous and controversial alliance known as the Lovers of the Nile. In 41 BCE, Cleopatra and Mark Antony began what would be one of history's most storied alliances. Their meeting in Tarsus was just the beginning of a partnership that would intertwine their fates and the destinies of Egypt and Rome. Antony, captivated not only by Cleopatra's beauty, but also by her intelligence and political acumen, saw in her a true partner in his ambitions to control the Roman East. Together they embarked on ambitious projects and military campaigns, including the joint rule over parts of the Eastern Mediterranean. Their relationship yielded 3 children: Alexander Helios, Cleopatra Selene II, and Ptolemy Philadelphus, further cementing their familial and political bonds. The couple's most provocative act was in 34 BCE, when Antony publicly proclaimed Cleopatra and their children as rulers over various Roman and Eastern territories. This bold move was not only a declaration of their power, but also an outright challenge to Rome's authority, particularly to Octavian, Antony's rival, and the future Emperor Augustus. The declaration alarmed many in Rome, where Antony's loyalty to Rome was now questioned. His actions, seen as a betrayal of Roman interests in favor of a foreign queen, exacerbated the already tense relations between him and Octavian. The Roman propaganda machine, led by Octavian, painted Cleopatra as a foreign seductress corrupting a Roman patriarch, framing their relationship as a threat to the Roman state. As tensions escalated, Octavian declared war not on Antony but on Cleopatra, emphasizing her perceived role as the manipulator behind Antony's actions. The conflict culminated in the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE, where Cleopatra and Antony's combined forces were decisively defeated by Octavian's navy. The aftermath of the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE was a desperate time for Cleopatra and Mark Antony. With their naval forces shattered and their political alliances crumbled, they retreated to Alexandria in Egypt, their dreams of empire dashed. In the face of inevitable defeat, their actions became a blend of defiance and despair. In 30 BCE, as Octavian's forces closed in on the city of Alexandria in Egypt, Antony received false reports of Cleopatra's death. Overwhelmed with grief while in Alexandria, he fell on his sword in a tragic act of Roman honor, critically wounding himself. Cleopatra, very much alive, was devastated upon learning of Antony's fate. She had planned to surrender to Octavian in hopes of negotiating some autonomy for Egypt and safety for her children. In her final act, Cleopatra chose a dignified end typical of her royal status and the dramatic nature of her reign. According to historical accounts, she committed suicide by allowing an Egyptian snake, a symbol of divine royalty in Egypt, to bite her. This act was both a personal decision to avoid the humiliation of being paraded as a captive through Rome and a political statement, marking the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Octavian took control of Alexandria with little resistance, and Egypt was annexed as a province of Rome. Cleopatra's death marked not only the end of her reign, but also the conclusion of the Hellenistic period and the age of the Egyptian pharaohs. Octavian, later known as Augustus, consolidated his power and ushered in the Roman Empire's era of imperial grandeur. In the wake of Cleopatra's tragic demise and the annexation of Egypt in 30 BCE, the vibrant kingdom of the Nile underwent profound transformations. Octavian, now the unchallenged ruler of Rome, declared Egypt a province of the Roman Empire, directly under his control as its first emperor Augustus. The strategic importance of Egypt, particularly its grain supplies, was crucial to Rome. As a Roman province, Egypt became the empire's breadbasket, a role that significantly boosted Rome's ability to sustain its population and fuel its armies. This economic pivot was not without its effects on the local population, who experienced both the benefits and the burdens of imperial demands. Culturally, the Roman influence melded with the rich Egyptian traditions. Alexandria remained a hub of learning and culture, but now under the auspices of Roman governance. The city's famous library continued to attract scholars, and the fusion of Greek, Egyptian, and now Roman customs created a unique cultural blend that defined this new epoch. As centuries passed, the Roman Empire itself would face decline and fall, but the province of Egypt remained a vital component of the subsequent Byzantine and then Islamic empires. Throughout these changes, Cleopatra's legacy endures through the ages, depicted variously as a seductress, a scholar, and a sovereign. Modern interpretations often reflect on her intelligence and political savvy, recognizing her as a complex leader caught between the competing demands of her country and the expansive ambitions of Rome. The search for Cleopatra's tomb is a captivating blend of historical investigation and archaeological exploration. Despite numerous efforts and significant findings, the exact location of her tomb remains one of history's most persistent enigmas. Cleopatra VII, famed as Egypt's last pharaoh, is rumored to be buried alongside her lover Mark Antony, but conclusive evidence of their tomb has yet to surface. Recent excavations have focused on the Taposiris Magna temple west of Alexandria. Overseen by Dominican archaeologist Kathleen Martinez, this site has revealed intriguing artifacts, such as coins bearing Cleopatra's likeness and an extensive network of tunnels. These discoveries fuel ongoing speculation that the final resting place of Egypt's last ruler might soon be uncovered. In 2022, a remarkable discovery was made at the same site. A tunnel described as a geometric miracle, situated 13 meters underground and stretching 1,305 meters. The site's connection to Osiris and Isis, deities closely associated with Cleopatra, who often portrayed herself as Isis, adds a significant layer of historical and cultural relevance to the findings. While the discovery of the tunnel and various artifacts have not yet pinpointed Cleopatra's tomb, they offer tantalizing clues and represent a significant advancement in the search for one of antiquity's greatest figures. The ongoing efforts to explore submerged sections of the temple complex underscore the enduring allure of Cleopatra's story and the mysteries surrounding her life and death. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating exploration. We hope it has not only enlightened, but also inspired you to see the threads that connect the past with our present. If you enjoyed this series and would like to dive deeper into other historical mysteries and legendary figures, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps us bring more of these insightful journeys to you. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos, so you never miss an opportunity to travel back in time with us. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. What did you find most intriguing about Cleopatra? Is there another historical figure you'd like us to explore? Let's keep the conversation going. Join our community, and together, let's continue to uncover the mysteries of history.